Hello, my name is Philip Totaro. I'm the founder and CEO of market research firm IntelStor. Welcome to your weekly dose of truth to power. Truth to Power examines data driven insights for the energy sector with a focus on renewables. On this week's episode, we're going back to the IntelStor Future of Renewables report to get more analysis on the regional breakdown of the capacity, generation, and finance data. Well, solar PV leads the world in capacity installed thanks to China's 991 gigawatts of capacity, bolstering the Asia Pacific region. Without China, solar PV still has over 340 gigawatts installed in the region, due in part to strong adoption rate in Vietnam and other neighboring Southeast Asian countries. Due to the growth in onshore wind in China and other global markets, that technology will end 2026 as second in cumulative installed capacity for all renewables, behind solar PV and overtaking hydropower. Solar PV and onshore wind have certainly distanced themselves from the rest of the technologies, while offshore wind is still scaling up and hydropower capacity remains relatively stagnant. Inexpensive relative capital costs have made solar PV and onshore wind desirable to deploy worldwide. Average cost for solar PV is around $690,000 per installed megawatt. Onshore wind energy is about 1.1 million per installed megawatt on average, including China. Nevertheless, with many countries ending the subsidy regimes which supported deployment, they may face challenges in certain markets to achieve the same level of capacity additions that those technologies have enjoyed in recent years. Of course, the Asia Pacific region is globally dominant due to China, but the Americas appear poised to overtake Europe within the next 5 years due to growth in solar PV, onshore wind, as well as offshore wind. Many of the other technologies may see modest growth in the future, but they remain limited by things like fuel source and or feedstock availability, as well as other commercial considerations which we'll get into. Unfortunately, Africa still remains behind the rest of the world on renewable energy capacity additions due to a high dependence on coal and natural gas. Based on IntelStor's projections, this is unlikely to change much by 2030, but new initiatives and a more intelligent deployment of public capital funding could see Africa and the Middle East accelerate their growth and reduce dependence on coal, natural gas, and diesel generation entirely by 2075. In the meantime, Asia Pacific's growth in market share has accelerated rapidly, supported by federal subsidies for onshore wind, which ended in 2019, and solar PV subsidies, which ended in 2020. While that's driven much of the growth in the past 25 years, the Americas went from almost 38% of global installations in the year 2000 to under 21% by 2025. Similarly, Europe shrank from approximately 27% of the global renewable energy capacity in 2000 to just over 20% today. Annual capacity additions will continue to be dominated by China and therefore the Asia Pacific region for the foreseeable future. APAC will see between 175 and 300 gigawatts per year, with China accounting for at least 70% of that total. Europe will see between 55 and 75 gigawatts of new capacity per year through 2030, with the Americas being reduced to between 50 and 65 gigawatts per year due to a pullback in the USA and limitations in other major markets in the region, such as Brazil. Africa remains concerning with only between 6 to 9 gigawatts of capacity additions per year. As of the end of 2025, the world has 4.89 terawatts of renewable energy capacity installed. That will increase to 6.73 terawatts by 2030, according to our forecast. There is a compound annual growth rate in the past 5 years of 11.5% per year, slowing down more recently to just over 8% compound annual growth. From the year 2000 to the end of 2025, the renewable energy sector has seen extremely impressive compound annual growth of 526.4%. Between 2026 and 2030, that compound annual growth is expected to slow even more to just over 5.3%. This is indicative of the shift away from subsidies and a change in public investment priorities, as well as what I've mentioned before regarding the pullback in renewable energy capacity additions in markets like the United States due to lack of political support. At the end of 2025, the Asia Pacific region led the world with just under 2.8 terawatts, thanks to China's contribution of more than 2 terawatts to that total. By 2030, Asia Pacific will be just under 4 terawatts of capacity installed if expected trends in capacity additions come to fruition. Europe and the Americas are almost virtually tied at the end of 2025 with 995.5 gigawatts and 991.3 gigawatts, respectively. They are both likely to lose market share to Asia Pacific as solar PV and wind energy build out continue in China largely unabated. Africa and the Middle East will end 2030 with just over 140 gigawatts of renewable energy installed capacity, but they will likely find it challenging to chase the rest of the world without significant investment in transmission infrastructure. The technical challenges, as well as the political implications of that, will be discussed in the section that we'll do on Africa and the Middle East. And we'll continue our analysis on next week's episode, looking at generation throughout the world and finance. Thank you for joining me this week. I'm Philip Totaro, and this has been your weekly dose of truth to power. We'll have more to come from this IntelStor exclusive report, The Future of Renewables, next time on Truth to Power. In the meantime, you can follow us on IntelStor's YouTube channel, as well as your favorite audio platforms, and visit www.intelstor.com to join more than 250,000 subscribers to our renewable energy data solution. We're adding subscribers faster than ever, so don't miss out. Register today. A full analysis of the global renewable energy market is available to online subscribers of this new, exclusive IntelStor report, The Future of Renewables. And you can register today for the next Wind Summit event in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Visit www.windsummit.org and join hundreds of your industry colleagues to discuss all the latest trends in O&M. We hope to see you there.